Hey there, everybody. It's like halfway through April. Everybody's doing their walkthrough videos, walkarounds, wanders. Look at what's popping up. Look at what's going on. I'm going to do the same. Hope you'll stick around. We are well behind some of the other notable folks on the internet, but our Nanking cherry is just starting to show the flower buds. Leaf out is going pretty well. It's not there yet. We're in a cold spot on the western aspect of a slope, kind of facing south, but in the middle of the woods, near a body of water that's a river. So we have some considerable chilling effects going on. You can see some of the comfrey is coming up, and the New Jersey tea, my favorite plant in the world, starting to leaf out again. I took a few cuttings from it recently. Not all of them are doing great. This one here, probably gonna go. This one here, probably not gonna make it. This guy here might just go. He's leafing out a little bit. I don't have enough hands to effectively zoom and cup and kind of try to capture everything. But yeah. So the New Jersey teas are coming up well. The lingonberries doing great. The willows leafing out. The real winner today are these amelanchiers. You can see all of the little flower buds and leaves that are coming out. My recollection is that these little guys are going to be the flowers, and then the longer pieces, like you can see accented up here, these bottom bits are going to be leaves. I could be wrong. The fastest way to get a correct answer on the internet is to say the wrong thing. We have some mints. This one is an apple mint planted under a plum tree. But we have had other things waking up. It's a decorative grass. I don't remember what exactly it's called, but I'm going to use it to help mulch the tree. This is a perennial lemon sorrel, and I've been splitting out subdivisions of it. We've had a little spot way up in the front over there that's been kind of building out itself for a few years, and so I split that out this morning. You can see all of my little spring flowers. They're like, oh, it's warm now, but it's probably going to get cold again. And they're right, it's going to get cold again. But I have an absolute massive amount of bee balm coming up. I don't even remember which kind this is. It might be the purple, it might be the red. I'd be really excited if it was the pink polka dotty spotty ones that are the Monarda Bradburyana. Those are pretty neat. I did end up cutting back the black lace elder to take cuttings. Some of them are all right in here, and you can see some of them starting to leaf out pretty well. Some of them still probably a little cold, but the tips still look pretty green, which means that they haven't fully healed over yet, and that's okay. The rest of it is coming out strong. I'll probably come out and just nip a few of the spots that were eaten. What's that little guy? I wonder if you can make out the little insect there. Check them out. They're neat. I don't know what they are, but they're neat. My linderas, as always, looking pretty sad at the beginning of the season, but I am seeing leaf buds starting to build out on that cane, or that shoot even though the bottom of it looks pretty raggedy. I'm hoping this guy sends up new growth like its friend up there did. But the calycanthus and the pawpaw, and to an extent, the lavenders in here are doing pretty well. These guys seem to have enjoyed the little bit of melt that they got. Likewise, this hazelnut budding out very nicely. I think this side is going to become the dominant shoot because the tops, the apical growing buds of these guys got nipped off over the winter. So it'll be interesting. Up in here there's forsythias starting to come back up. The hascaps are coming back strong again, as well as all of our wild violets. And I really do like the wild violets. We had no successes with these pots, so these will be added to the rest of these garden beds in here, like around this amalank here and these amalank here, and we'll start building up using what came down over the winter as kind of an informal border, but it made me feel better during the winter to have that little bit of green on the ground. Kind of tricked my brain into thinking spring was around the corner. Highly recommend. It was very effective. Kind of allayed some of the seasonal effectively sadness. This Lindera was brought straight to the ground. I have left the tag on, but it's on a bit that is totally knocked off. So I'm not going to worry about it. Hopefully this guy will send up more shoots as well, but these looked fairly healthy and are greening up nicely, as is this other shadblow serviceberry. It's the Amelanchier canadensis, if I recall correctly, which I hope I do. Be really poor form if I didn't. I still have not finished taking down all of this tree, but there's just so many things. Been moving more and more things out of the hoop house, like my basket willows and my little I harvest from this one basket willow. It's kind of like a showpiece to get people into the groove. Why does that tree look so funny? I wouldn't buy that. That's great. It's not for sale. This is the one I take my cuttings from. This is how you can make more. Buy my plants. This guy's small growing tip, gone. I like that with willows it's that easy to tell, and with willows it's that easy to rectify. But this right here, maybe not the greatest thing. I might come back and this is another guy that I harvest from, as you can tell. Might come back and once we start getting some bigger rains, nick all these guys off, leave some lower bits, and make a few more basket willows. I've also been potting up some of the mint that is in one of my near the house garden beds. I find that the mint that I grow next to the yard way easier to maintain and control than the stuff in and around actual like manicured garden beds. So, your mileage may vary. If you can mow it, you can control it. The Monardas, this one is Monarda didyma. Those are coming up nicely, and we have a whole bunch of strawberries coming up. So I'm really glad I did the straw in the hay. We have more strawberries on their way. Another forestier version of strawberries. I think they're the alpine strawberries. The specific name is escaping me at the moment, but we'll be taking some of these guys, some of the other ones, And I think one of my ideas for this garden season is to take some strawberries and some of the mint, probably the chocolate mint. I think the chocolate mint is going to go better, but I think strawberries and chocolate mint in a hanging planter for like a backyard snack pack is like a great idea. I would legitimately just take mint leaves and wrap them around that strawberry and take a bite. It would be amazing. Just a fruit in a salad. Let me know what you guys think about it. Daylilies coming up. There's even more over here that I can show you guys. We've been plotting it up. A quick note, I guess. Everything on the website is listed as out of stock. It is not really, but with the advent of growing season and market a mere month and a half away, we are switching back over to potting things up in our recycled, reclaimed pots. I've been mixing some of the coir that we had and some of the potting mix that I've been using. I've been mixing that with some of the soil that's in those grow bags out back, and that's been pretty great. It's holding water better than the coir by itself, and it's, I would say, like half as heavy as the pots last year, which were a complaint from people with using actual, straight soil. Who knew? Who'da thunk? So, yeah. And, Pseudo's feeling better. This little man jumped on a porcupine last week to protect his mom because he believes that they explode. Yeah, you're gonna show all the nice people? You show all the nice people? You roll? You roll? Yeah. Look at his little cow spots. But he's still got some wicked barbs in there. So we're trying to keep him low key and hanging out with me. So no big walks or excursions lately, which is unfortunate. But I mean, most of the stuff in my yard at the moment is still, itty bitty things. I think if I zoom over here, you can probably see the Hylotelephiums right there. Just barely starting to break ground. So, back in the woods, it's even scarcer bits of green. Nothing's really awake outside of the sunny areas yet. Although, I will say the ramp patch out by the duckyard is going pretty gangbusters. I might show that. I'm going to show that, and then we're going to call this thing a wrap. So here we are. Here's the ramp patch. They are coming up nicely. I think we've still got some more on their way up, but I'm pretty happy with how this is going. I do know that we had branch fall and tree litter falling in here near the start, but these guys are pungent and strong. I can literally smell the oniony, garlicky deliciousness coming off of them just from here. And all I want to do is give them that little bit of chance to catch a little bit more sun. I don't want to be too much. I don't want to step on them too hard. It looks like something took a bite and didn't necessarily like what they got. Take that too. And I don't see anything coming up under there. But yeah, so these guys started as like a handful of bulbs, and we're getting, I don't know, more than we got last year. I'll have to take like a full accounting of it. And we'll see what comes of it. But I think not this year, but next year, I'm gonna try to split these out into other areas underneath other maples in the woods once the stuff that is back in there has had time to cook down a little bit and molder more. I'm gonna get back to continuing to pot things up and continuing to hope that you are all doing great and doing well and doing good. And yeah, till next time. Thanks for watching. Happy planting.